Hello everyone, this is RokasLeo, and today we're going to look at our dojo. I promised you to show around. So already this is the building. The first floor is actually a convenience store, which is very convenient since we are at the second floor. The whole second floor is our dojo. You see there's our posters. These are the old posters, but nevertheless they're quite similar. Whenever we need to buy something, we can go down. If you look there, there's a lot of parking spaces. During the classes, they're packed. There's no space at all, but right now we just finished, so it's good. Actually, the city center is quite close, but it looks like we're far out, but it's 5 minutes walk. But this is the space from the outside, so we can go ahead and come in. So yeah, as you enter here, this is the convenience store on the right, and this is the dojo door. So there's our logo, there's the schedule. So as you come in, there's a bell so that we would know that people come in, and also it's kind of a meditative sound so that people would already drop into something deeper. So there's a painting here. It's a quote from Washiba. It says, the art of peace, how do you say, blesses the connection between heaven, earth, and the individual. So yeah, so people could get a feeling of what they're getting into. There's some pictures here. My wife took care of that since the wall wasn't very nice here, so we made an arrangement here. It looks a bit more beautiful this way, which is nice. This is our mascot of the dojo, Inaya. You see her in pretty much all the videos. She's great. She's getting used to being in the dojo. So as you walk in, this is the board of announcements. There's a lot of things. There's a bit of my thoughts, the theory of what we're doing here, so that when people would come, they would know what they can expect. This is the technical table. We divide the group into beginners and advanced, and as they come in, they know exactly what techniques we've done and what we're going to do today. They follow each other in a very logical sense. Advanced people have more techniques. We do a few techniques during the class. There's a lot of different stuff here, aerial yoga, and this is the dojo goal. It says to give the power to people to live the life that they want to live. That's our vision, that's our direction. This is the attendance sheet. When people come, they write down an X. That means they've participated in the class. When they get the right amount of training, they can pass their exam. So this is something fairly new in our dojo. It's a payment system with envelopes. So everybody has their own envelope. When you take one, you write down your name, surname, what classes you go. These are months. You put the money in, and then you drop it into the mailbox. When I leave the dojo, I take the envelope, I check that it's paid. So it makes it much easier for myself and for the students because they don't need to seek me out. They don't need to, if I don't have time between classes, we don't need to go through the bothersome the whole act of paying. They just do it here. Very simple, very convenient. This is where people leave their shoes. It's a bit of a project itself as well. Everybody has their own slippers since we try to keep the space clean. It's a new thing right now. We're putting names as well. So every member has their special place with their own name so that they know that they belong here. They have their own space. So that makes everything much more clear, much more nicer. So as we move on, this is it's called the tea corner, and this is where we drink tea, sit down together, chat between the classes, before, after classes. This is Martinas. Most of the times you see him in advanced Ukemi classes. He's very good. He passed his shodan a bit more than a year ago. No, less a year ago. He's a black belt. He's one of my first black belts. This is something we sometimes use as well. This is the thank you box. If somebody wants to leave some extra money, or if they come for a free seminar or something and they want to leave something, they put it here in the box. It says the box of thank you. This is a Sensei. It's printed with laser. It's a gift from one of my students. It's on the mirror. There's some tea here. You can make some tea as you wait for the class. On the other side, we have the library of books. People can come, take a book, read before class, after class. A lot of them are spiritual books, Tibetan, Indian, philosophy, Western teachers. Some of them are martial arts too. There's a big Hapkido book with a lot of techniques. So there's a bit of everything, but most of the books are specifically chosen to represent some thoughts. This is myself, made by one of my students. I'm not as big, but yeah, that's kind of me. So right here we keep the cups if somebody needs to drink the tea. This is quote-unquote my office. Most of the times it's a mess, but I'll show you just a bit. If you enter, yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but there's some space to change myself, and it could be cleaner. But yes, this is my space. So as we walk further, on the left, it's more of the observance corner when parents come or people who watch class for the first time. They sit here. There's a good view of the dojo. There's also an aquarium. Right now the lights are not working, but there's some fish here to give an element of water. So this view, most of you have seen already. It's the main dojo. It's 120 square meters of tatami. I'll write down in the corner how much feet it is. I'm not good at converting. But yes, so this is the space. There's the two columns. It's not too bad. I take it as an advantage that people need to be more conscious as they move the space. When they do chemi, they can become more conscious, more aware. So it has its bonuses. We did put some extra foam on it so that people wouldn't get hurt, but nevertheless, most of the time nobody even touches it. So so as you see, there's a lot of windows, which makes it bright and nice. During summer, it makes it a bit hot since the sun is shining here, but it's not too bad. This is the showman. Actually, one of my students made it with his own hands as a gift. This is oak, so it's handmade, really nice. There's a kamidza. My sensei, Sensei Patrick Cassidy, gave it to me to the dojo as a gift. It's funny because when I was with Chideshi in Switzerland, it was on his showman, and I was cleaning it for 2.5 years. A lot of times, and then one of the times when he came, he gave it as a gift, so it was great to be reunited. So I was very honored and happy. There's a lot of symbols here. It's a mix. There's a Tibetan dagger of wisdom. We put some incense as well. There's a Hanuman. It's an Indian representation of a certain quality. There's a Sensei, there's a Buddha. So there's a lot of different things, and each of them represents something. They have a meaning. Let's say Hanuman, it's courage. Krishna is attaining of a higher understanding of life. There's the wisdom. There's inspiration, the ground of being, pure mind, open heart. So each symbol has a meaning, so that when we bow to the showman, we bow to the qualities which are inspiring to us. We bow to something that we want to become. So it's like a symbol of becoming better. This is also a calligraphy from my teacher, Sensei Patrick Cassidy. It's obviously an Aikido. Whoever does Aikido know it. We have some Tibetan singing bowls as well to start off the meditation so that people would get in tune with themselves before we start. We have a computer and there's a stereo. There's a music connected on both sides. It's something fairly unique to most dojos, but the same way that my sensei, we use music to create a certain atmosphere or to create rhythm in the training. So that's very comfortable here. We have sheets for the yoga class. This is to make nicer, to make some feng shui, because behind it's a bit of a, I don't know how it's called, radiator. It's a heater, which doesn't look very nice. So me and wife decided to put something to to make the space feel better, to make the energy nicer in the dojo. So there's a lot of thought put into the whole dojo. There's a, I think it's a sumi-e, I'm not sure, it's a pinning that I was given as a gift. We made the frame ourselves, actually. Again, the student who made the showman actually made this weapon rack. It's also oak, feels very nice. We have some real weapons, some improvisations, not a real katana we use for kids classes mostly. I think this is Buddha Dharma, Bodhi Dharma from the Buddhism tradition, if you study that. We have a couple of big mirrors. They're a bit, they deform the people, but it's not too bad. We're planning to put it more nicely at the wall so it would be stable. So if you train, you can watch your stance, watch your cutting with the bokken. We have a big mattress so that beginners, when they do rolls, it's actually safer for them, more easier to get into it. We have a smaller mat as well to continue. This is something quite nice as well. We made it obviously ourselves too. The people can leave their gis, and also there's a curtain here so that it wouldn't, so that there would be that it would be like a different space. There's a lot of air flowing here, so it's good because they keep the gis keep dry, and they don't look like they disturb the space. So I think it's a nice addition. Also very easy to take as people go into the dressing rooms. Well, so this is the extra space where it's mostly dressing rooms, showers, and etc. But I'll show you around. So this is the women's dressing room. There's nobody here right now, so we can come in. It's a bit nicer than the men's dressing room, a bit smaller, but nevertheless, we put a lot of work into the whole dojo. The floor wasn't here. We put it ourselves. We had to paint the walls. We made these hangers. They're quite nice too. There's some flowers to make the space feel more nicer. Obviously, a mirror is very important for women, men too. But anyway, my wife covered the sofa recently. There's some pictures. Well, we strive to make it feel good so that people would feel welcome. If we speak about what we had to do with the space when we moved in, this floor wasn't here as well. We had to put it here ourselves. If you enter, this is the shower space and also our extra cleaning materials. The walls here we had to build ourselves since the walls were quite nasty. This is the shower. We had to build the bottom of it ourselves so that there would be the sewage leakage. But yeah, there's one here, one on the other side. We're not going to go there. As we move on, part of this wall wasn't here as well. We made an extra room here. So this is there's no light, but I think you'll see this is the uchideshi room, or live-in space if we have guests, or sometimes people live and train in the dojo, what's called uchideshi. There's a bed, closet. It's basic, but I think fairly good for whoever needs to live here. Now, this is our small kitchen. If there's a live-in student, or if people come before the class, they want to cook some food, heat something up, there's a fridge, some utensils. It's very basic, but it's enough to live here or to cook something during seminars or so. Now, here it's the men's dressing room. It's bigger than the women's dressing room, but that's normal because of the ratio of women, men in a martial art. The floor as well, we had to make it ourselves. Hangers, painted walls, but yeah, it's more basic. It's not as nice, but I think it's just what men need. Some people leave their gis, they shouldn't do that, but nevertheless. So this is not exciting, but nevertheless, toilet, not much comments here. So now here it's a separated space. If we move in, we put this storage here. There's stairs downstairs, and so we put the building materials in, etc. You can also go on the roof. We sometimes train weapons there or meditate. It's great, but I'm not going to show it today. the roof. There's, if you watch our first videos, the very first videos we filmed on the roof, on this roof. So now this is quite exciting. So there used to be just the stairs, empty space, but we decided since there's space, we built an extra room. So this wall, when you look here, and also this base of it, it didn't exist. So one of my students actually built the whole thing, or two of my students. So we built a base, we built a wall, and now there's an extra room here. There's removable stairs, so that if you need to go down, you can bring them out. And if you go up, this is where I'm planning to move my office. This is an extra space. It's not ready yet. It's not very clean, but sorry. So if you come in, there's a window here for some light, a hanger, table, chairs, some extra space. So no lights yet, no electricity. We're still working on it. But it's good for private meetings, for meditation, and so eventually I'm planning to do it as a separate space so that when new people come, I can invite them for conversation, invite my students for a one-on-one meeting. So it's good to have an extra space since we pay for the rent anyway. So as we move out, since it's quite big, the whole space is 250 square meters. I'm gonna put again the American numbers on the side, but it's a bit tricky since it's big. You probably got lost in between. But these doors, if you open it, we come back to our messy office room, and through this curtain, we made a full circle, and we're back at the general space. So yeah, I think this is it. So if you have any questions, if you want to know more about something, or if you're interested about some details, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer. But I think you have a good feeling of how it looks, how it feels. Feel free, feel welcome to come, visit, check it out, feel it by yourself. We're always welcome guests. But yeah, I think now you feel like at home here. Anyway, so thank you to the camera person. It's Eduardas as always. And again, I'll see you in other videos. Let me know if you like these videos. We'll make some more. All in all, this is RokasLeo, and I'll see you on the virtual mat again soon. Voilà. Gerai. Ane? Oh. Nu nieko, po to vis tiek iškarpysim.
19 minučių.
Nu po to iškarpysim biškį, bet tokius dalykus iš tiesų, kas žiūri, tai žiūri.